76.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I, on behalf of ITAT Bar Association, Chandigarh, welcome you all for this second web seminar. Today, we have Sri Sudhir Sehgal ji, advocate, as speaker for the master class. I would like to thank you all for your continued support in our new initiative. Now I request Sri Prakshit Agarwal ji to formally start the seminar. Prakshit Agarwal ji.
Thank you, Secretary Saab. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome you all to the second webinar of Chandigarh ITAT Bar Association. We also welcome our eminent speaker, Shri Sudhir Sehgal Saab. The topic for today that all the participants and the executive have selected is the issues regarding valid service of notice, condemnation of delay in filing of the appeal, and taking additional ground of appeal before the various appellate authorities, and filing of additional evidences before various appellate authorities. So that is the topic that has been selected for today. The speaker for the day will also be taking the questions after his speech is over. And I request all to keep on raising questions. We thank various participants who raised the question in advance. Also, we have received various questions. We have already forwarded those questions to our speaker of the day. And we request that whatever questions that come to your mind, kindly raise those questions in the chat box. And we will immediately forward those to the speaker so that all those questions are taken up. And after those, at the start of those questions, we'll be closing that chat box. And after that, anyone can even still raise the question by raise of hands, which is that facility is there in the Zoom. You can take up that. And we will be moderating that session also. So now I request our president to formally introduce our speaker of the day, Shri T.N. Singla sir.
Hello. Welcome to everybody for joining this seminar. This webinar is organized with the efforts of Shri Nikhil Goyal, young chartered accountant and advocate. He has taken initiative to organize this, and with the efforts of our office bearers of ITAT Bar, Shri Prakshit Agarwal ji, Shri Ashok Goyal, we would like to continue with these webinars in the coming days till this lockdown is continuing. So today we are thankful to Mr. Sudhir Sehgal. He was kind enough to agree to deliberate and to apprise us about the various technical issues which are we face on day-to-day basis when we go for the assessments or appeal or anywhere in the income tax department. So at various platforms we require these technical system, technical technical requirements to contest our cases and to represent our cases. So Mr. Sudhir Sehgal, as you know, is one of the senior most professional practicing in the income tax at Chandigarh, Ludhiana and all of Punjab and Delhi. He is also pioneer in the settlement commission cases. So he is having experience of more than 40 years. So with this, I request Shri Sudhir Sehgal ji to deliberate on today's issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Singla. And very good afternoon to all of you. I am extremely happy today to meet all of you. And for that, the office bearers of our ITAT Chandigarh Bar needs to be complimented. And in fact, my dear friends, for the past over 1 month since the lockdown was there, I was feeling a little lonely because we were missing each other on account of the fact that relationship gives the lasting happiness. And before I start with my topic, which have been assigned to me today, I will like to share with you one study conducted by the world famous university, Harvard University, for the past over 70 years. And that study is still being continued. The study related to the top graduates of the Harvard University over the past 70 years. And they found that out of those top graduates of the Harvard University, 2 or 3% had been the president of USA. Some have been astronauts. Some have been leading scientists. Some have been the leading lawyers. Some have been the very big businessmen. And also, some of those persons were convicted and had gone to the jail also. But this study was made as to who among them were happy or had a feeling of well-being. And all of us, you will be astonished to note that this study revealed one common thing in all of them, that happiness was not there with the wealth, with the degrees, with the achievements they have made, or with the achievement of their children, but happy persons were those who had the ability to build relationship, and happy were those जिन्होंने अपने दोस्तों के साथ, अपने परिवार के साथ रिश्ते निभाए, and above all, whenever there was a conflict, they had again reformed that kind of a relationship. My dear friends, these are the testing time, and relationship these days is the only medicine for COVID-19. And through this discussion only, my experience is that friends make bad times a very good time. Now with this, I will start with my topic, which have been assigned to me. Topic, as you, all of you know, relates to the issue of a service of a notice, additional ground of appeal before the appellate authorities, additional evidence before the appellate authorities, and condonation of delay. First, I will take up the issue and service of a notice. As all of you are aware that the issue of the notice and service of the notice is governed by Section 282 of the Income Tax Act. All of you know that they have laid down that the notice has to be sent as per Section 282 by post or by such courier service as may be approved by the CBDT in such manner as provided under the Code of Civil Procedure, in the form of any electronic record as provided in Chapter 4 of the Information Technology Act 2000, or by any other means of transmission of document which for which the rules have been made by the CBDT. Separately, the rules have been given in the IT rule number 127 and the IT rule 127 as per the amendment as on 2/12/2015 are that the notice had to be sent on the address in the PAN database, address available in the income tax return, address available Hello? Hari?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, now it's okay. Sorry for the inconvenience. Issue and service of the notice under section 143(2) or under section 148. These are the two very important things which have to be taken into consideration. As you are aware that for the purpose of the section 143(2), the word is issue of a notice, and for the notice to be issued under section 148, it is the service of the notice. The proceedings are initiated by way of proper and valid service of the notice, either under section 143(2) or under section 148. Before I start with it, the only thing which I want to share with you, any kind of wrong service of the notice, particularly section 148, or issue of a notice under section 143(2) is not issued in time, then the whole of the proceeding can be void ab initio and without going to the merits of the case. Now, the next thing which I would like to take, that notice can be served on whose? In the case of an individual, it can be served upon the person concerned or to the family members, excluding minor or the servants. In the case of the firm, to any partner or manager. In the case of HUF, to a manager, karta, or any adult member, excluding the minor. Local authority, to any principal officer. In the case of a company, to the principal officer or to the any director, excluding minor. In the case of AOP, principal officer or any member. And then in the case of any other person, except individual, to anybody who manages and controls the affair of the person. However, with the e-assessment and paperless assessment, the scenario has entirely changed. And now the service of the notice can be effected by email or other processes which have been laid down by two separate notification, 2/2016, dated 3/2/2016 is a very important notification. The second notification is 4/2017, which is dated 3rd April 2017. In the notification of 2016, the Rule 127 has undergone a change. The notice can be served at the email address as per income tax return. Then the word is, please note it down, or email address as per the last income tax return, email address of the company, email address provided specifically by the assessee to the income tax authority. There is a proviso to Rule 127. Supposing I have given some address in my return of income, but later on I intimate to the AO that please send me at this address, then AO is bound to issue the notice at the address which I have intimated to him. Then the notification dated 3/4/2017 is with regard to the e-proceedings which have been issued, and in these e-proceedings it has been mentioned that the notice can be served on the portal of the assessee even. Then comes the very important another notification which is dated 12th September 2019. According to my humble opinion, if the notice is issued and has to be issued as per section 282 and as per the Rule 127, but in this notification, 12th September 2019, they have said that the notice can be issued on the portal of the assessee also. Now, without amending section 282, the scope of the service of the notice has been expanded. Now, if I look to the 19, as per clause 10, they have mentioned delivery of electronic record, placing an authenticated copy thereof in the assessee's registered account. Now, another thing which bears to my mind is that we are a state, or we are a country where most of the people do not have the facility of the e-filing, email or the portal. Very less number of the people are income taxpayer. Recently, we had seen for the past 2 years that various notices under section 148 or the others have been issued to the people living in the villages who had made deposit in their bank account, and certain notices have been issued to them on the e-portal or on certain other mode by way of the elect. That there should be provision that the scheme should be modified, that service of electronic record should be complete only upon retrieval by the person. Otherwise, it will lead to disputes between the taxpayer and tax authorities. Similarly, as earlier, manual assessment region also. My only submission is that now there are two kind of debate which will come into this force. One is I may not see my e-portal. Second thing is I change the lawyer. Next year there is another lawyer. He files my return. Now the AO, as per the rule 127, he can issue the notice. The word is or. That is, in the return, whatever is my email address. Now, in my email address, the return would be of the earlier lawyer also. And then when I file my return for the next year, there would be email address of the another lawyer. So he can send the notice on both, or the word is or. So my only suggestion is that we need to be aware of these kinds of changes which are there. Please go through the notifications. This is 12th September 2019. And one thing more which I want to share with you, that this notification which has been issued dated 12th September 2019 is only concerning the e-assessment. It is not concerning to the earlier one, or it is not concerning to any other mode, because it is because it has been issued under section 143(3)(3)(a) clause of that section. So therefore, we have to just apply our mind what will be the fate of the service of the notices in the times to come. Now, having given this background, I will discuss some of the general aspects of the issue and service of the notice, and then I will take some case laws which I have been able to go through with regard to the service or issue of a notice, both under section 143(2) and 148, because I feel these are the two very important sections. And then I will draw my list of the cases, narrate certain circumstances where the various courts have held that under what circumstances the issue of service of a notice would be valid or not. Now, first I will take up the object and purpose of the notice. The object and purpose of the notice, as you are already aware, this is only to give the date and time and the place of the hearing. And one thing is important, that even if the service of the notice had been made upon the assessee through some mode or the other, and that notice has reached the assessee cannot challenge later on that I was not served the notice as per the rule 127 or section 282. This is as per the judgment of the Delhi High Court, which have been reported in 212 Taxman, page 20. This is in magazine section. Then the second is that burden of proof of a valid service of the notice. No hard and fast rule can be laid down. In some cases, the affidavit of the assessee, or in some cases the affidavit of the AO can be taken into consideration. And in some cases, if the assessee wants, he can ask the AO that I want to cross-examine the process server who had said that I had gone to the particular place and served the notice. This is as per the judgment of the Honorable Allahabad High Court in the case of Jagannath Food, reported in 171 ITR, page 596. Then the notice cannot be sent by certificate of posting. It has to be sent by the registered post. This is as per the judgment of the Delhi High Court in the case of R.L. Narang, 136 ITR, page 108. Then the notice has to be sent by registered post, as I have already said. But the most important part is to be taken into consideration that notice sent by registered post, if it does not come back within 30 days to the AO, then there is a presumption under law that the notice has been served. Many cases are there with all of us where the notices have gone there. This is as per the judgment of the Delhi High Court in the case of CIT versus Yamuna Industries, reported in 167 Taxman, page 67. Then notice to the advocate or to the authorized representative is also considered as a valid service. This is as per the judgment of the Allahabad High Court in a decision of the Sultanpur Kshetriya Gramin Bank, 336 ITR, page 156. This was, my dear friends, with regard to the notices, the general objects or the general guidelines for the purpose of the issue and the service of the notice. Now, I will take up the important latest cases, though I cannot take into consideration all the facts and circumstances. What I thought that I will take up case laws, mainly the recent judgments, and then how they are relevant to the facts of our discussion today. The one very recent judgment which is there, which is of the IWIN Interactive Limited of the Honorable Supreme Court, reported in 110 Taxman.com 332. I repeat, 110 Taxman.com 332. It is also reported in ITR 418 ITR, page 662. Now the facts were that this case relates to assessment year 2006-07. The AO issued the notice as per the address given on the PAN data. The notice was served upon the assessee at the old address, but assessee was not returned for assessment year 7-8, which had been filed prior to the issue of the notice for assessment year 6-7. The AO had the benefit of the new address. The matter went in favor of the assessor. They had held that since the AO had the benefit of the new address, so therefore it was held by the Honorable High Court that there was a wrong service of the notice and whole of the assessment was quashed. But when the matter came up before the Honorable Supreme Court, they have said that we have to serve the notice as per the PAN address, as per the address given on the PAN data. And they said that the notice had been rightly issued by the AO because he had that address. He had issued the notice at that address. There was no communication for any change of address. AO cannot look into the next year's return for the purposes of sending the notice. He has to look into that fact only, which was given in the PAN data. Now, my dear friends, a very interesting fact has come out with this judgment. The interesting fact is that now in the amended rules which are there, that the notice can be issued by the email in the address given in the latest return also or in the earlier return also. And also how far this judgment creates a kind of controversy with regard to the other notification which I've just referred to you, will be another issue which will be coming up. And I will just request to take note of this judgment. This takes into consideration all the judgments of the issue of the notice. Now, they said that whether 292B comes into the support of the fact that the notice under section 143(2) was not issued in time. There is a latest judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court which happened there in the CIT versus Lashman Das Khandelwal 108 Taxman.com 183. We say that the 292B does not come to the rescue of the assessee. Then, if the service of the notice where the assessee is not there and the service of the notice is made on the counsel of the assessee, as I have said that it's a valid service, but one thing is important here. In this case, which were there before the Honorable Supreme Court, in 90 Taxman.com 325, the assessee had disowned his counsel. He said, he's not my counsel. So it was held by the Honorable Supreme Court that how the AO will look into that who's the counsel or not, whatever as per the record was the counsel. And if the assessee has disowned the counsel, it is not the business of the AO to look into that. Then the another fact is that the notice has to be issued by the AO having the jurisdiction over the case. These are the decisions of the ITAT Delhi in the case of ITO versus NVS Builder. But I will take up the Chandigarh bench decision, which is of the jurisdictional bench in the case of HP Singh and others, where the notice was issued as the PAN was lying at Amritsar and the assessee was being assessed at Chandigarh. There the Honorable Chandigarh bench has quashed the assessment. Now similarly, in some other cases also the same view has been taken. So my view is that 143(2) notice, whenever we are taking up in appeal, we have to bear these effects. So there can be. Now I come to the issue of the notice under section 148. Now in this section 148, the word is service of the notice. All of you are aware that the 148 notice has to be issued at the correct address or on the person in whose name the notice has been issued. One very interesting and important case is of the Chandigarh bench of the ITAT, which was decided on 8/4/2016 in the case of Om Prakash Kukreja. In this case, the address to which the notice under section 148 was issued at 1626 sector 18D, and the assessee was residing at 1627. And as per the report of the inspector also later on, it was clarified that he is staying at 1627 only. And the Honorable Chandigarh bench has held that the service of the notice was not proper. Then another very interesting case is of the Chandigarh bench, which had been approved by the Honorable Punjab Haryana High Court in the case of Vijay Kiran Hotel, is that there was a service of the notice on 27th of April, though the notice was issued on 30th March. Kindly see the gap of 27 days. Local case only, Ludhiana case was there. And in that case, there were signatures of the assessee, but the assessee had said that these are not my signatures at all. The Chandigarh bench held that these signatures appear to be some kind of resemblance, but they do not tally. And as such, the assessment was quashed, and it was also held. Wherever the assessee challenges the service of the notice, the burden is upon the AO to state that the notice has been served properly. The same judgment has been followed in the case of Ajit Kumar Lakada of the Chandigarh bench. In this case, the notice under section 148 was issued in the name of Mr. Lakada. The notice was received by putting a stamp of super fine knitters and then the manager and then the signature were there. It was said that the notice was not served upon the assessee or the manager as per section 282, and then the Your Honor assessment had CCH page 13. In this case, the service of the notice under section 148 was made on the temporary guard of the assessee, since the assessee had gone out, and it was held that the notice was not served properly and the assessment had been quashed. Same are the likewise other some judgmentals, which I will not take all the cases due to the paucity of time. Then there's a case which I'm taking where the notice has been issued in the case of amalgamating entity. Says the notice has not been issued to the correct person because that entity seems to be exist. So therefore the notice under section 148 was sent. Now the third most important fact is that the service of the notice, if it is not made through manual or through email or not proper service or by post, then the AO has to record a finding fact. Please note it, AO has to record a finding of a fact that the notice cannot be served in an ordinary way, then it has to be served by way of affixure. That satisfaction has to be as per the record. And then I have seen in many cases, the notice by post is sent on 30th of March. There is a satisfaction on 30th of March. There is a affixure order on 30th of March. And then the notice is affixed on 30th of March. In those cases, it has been held that the whole of the proceedings are void ab initio. And then what I would basically suggest, many cases are landing before us in the year 2019, where the ex-party assessment have been made, mainly of the rural person. I will request you that wherever the notice by affixure have been mentioned, I am yet to come across a case where that affixure have been certified by 2 independent witnesses. That is very important, with their complete addresses. Before taking that ground of appeal, please look into the record by way of taking the file for the purpose of inspection, and then challenge the same with no independent witnesses. Various courts have been very harsh where the affixure have not been made in the presence of 2 independent witnesses, and who has identified that place. That fact also come out from the record. There is a leading judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court, 82 ITR, page 888, Ramanand Ghosh, where the name and address who had identified was not there, so the service was not in accordance with the law. Then there are numerous judgments of the Punjab Haryana High Court as per the reported in 328 ITR 123.3, 323 ITR page 449, 5 ITR page 536 tribunal, which may be looked into, and of the Chandigarh bench of the ITAT in the case of Balbir Singh, 567/2016, judgment dated 13/5/2019. Now, this was with regard to the service of the notice. Now, I come to the additional ground of appeal before the appellate authorities. All of you are aware that we can take the additional ground of appeal. There's a leading judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court in the case of National Thermal, 229 ITR 383. This has been followed in many cases, but I will just try to take into consideration one fact, that additional ground of appeal can be taken if it is legal, if it is factual, if all the things are coming out from the record, or if there is a later judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court, or he was not guided properly by his counsel, or new fact has come on, and even there are cases where a claim was omitted to be taken in the return of income, which came to the knowledge of the assessee afterwards he was not guided, properly, that ground can also be taken if all the facts are coming out from the record. The idea is that nobody should suffer for want of justice. There are a number of cases, you can look into that. And one case which I will refer to, the Hubuda of the Chandigarh bench of the ITAT, it is 480, 481 and 972 of the 2012 order dated 10/5. The deduction which he was otherwise seemed to be allowable, which by way of additional ground he had taken before the ITAT, and that was allowed. Similarly, on this issue, I need not go into further. Then comes the another aspect is the additional evidences before the appellate authority. Before the CIT appeal, we are governed by Rule 46A. Before the Honorable ITAT, we are governed by Rule 29. And if there is the various conditions have been given in Rule 46A that I was not given the proper or reasonable opportunity. The leading judgment in this case is of the Tekram of the Honorable Supreme Court. I think all the controversies have been put at rest with this judgment. It is 357 ITR 133, where they say that the documents are to be admitted because the relevant justice or this document are important for the purpose of deciding the issue in hand. That is the important fact which have been laid. And then there's a Punjab Haryana High Court judgment, as you are aware, Mukta Metal 336 ITR page 555. And then additional ground can be taken before the appellate authorities, where one judgment which came to my knowledge is of the Delhi ITAT, which is order dated 18/10/2019 in the case of Emergent Ventures, EMERGENT Ventures, where the additional evidence was submitted due to non-seriousness on the part of the authorized representative. But I must share with you that it must be a bona fide one. Then there's a case of Daljit Singh Saraf of the Punjab Haryana High Court, which is the judgment dated 16/3/2017, number 98 of 2017. The courts have held that additional evidence is required to assess the real income of the assessee. Again, a very wide scope is there. So therefore, what I wish to state that our courts have been very liberal with regard to the admission of the additional ground of appeal. And then one more very interesting case of the additional ground of appeal is in the case of Yuvraj Mahajan, which is the judgment of the Chandigarh bench in IJ number 958, dated 17/3/2016. In this case, for the assessment year 4-5, there were certain debtors were there, and there was cash deposit in the financial year 7-8. And the assessee had taken an additional ground before the ITAT that those amounts which was receivable by him in the year 2004 was received by him in the year 2008, and therefore that was the source of the deposit. He filed the copies of all the debtor account, and which all the evidences were admitted. Of course, while submitting the additional evidences or while taking the additional ground of appeal, the other party, that is the department, has to be given an opportunity. Now, the last thing is about the condonation of delay. I know I am running out of time. My colleague has told me the 5 minutes. I hope I'll be able to finish that. That is the condonation of delay. Here also, I would just very humbly submit that the courts have been very liberal, provided the reasons are bona fide. The leading judgment in this case is, as you know, is of the Honorable Supreme Court, is reported in 167 ITR page 471. It is the judgment of Kataji, collector land acquisition. Thereafter, now there is a recent judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court, Senior Bhonsle Estate HUF. I repeat, Senior Bhonsle Estate HUF, which is appeal number 6676 of 2010, order dated 7/11/2019, there was a condemnation of delay of 1,754, and assessee had taken a stand that he has no knowledge of the passing of the order, which was not expressly refuted by the other party. So therefore, it was held that the question of disbelieving the stand of the applicant cannot arise, and the delay was condoned. Similarly, the empty number of judgments are there, that where there's a mistake of the counsel, where the a plea has been taken, or the affidavit of the counsel is there that the papers were given to me, they were got misplaced, or the paper got misplaced by the assessee. There's an affidavit of the counsel or the affidavit of the party also. There's a leading case of the Harish Kumar Chhabra of the Punjab Haryana High Court in ITA number 38 of 2012, which is order dated 28th of August 2012, where the delay was condoned. Similarly, in the case of Puneet Fashion, there was a delay of more than 1,000 days. What was the reason for delay? That the assessee was involved in various kinds of litigation with the FARA, with the VAT authorities, with so many other cases he was lodged up. Of course, we'll have to give the sequence. We'll have to give it date-wise. Not the date-wise, that month-wise, or somewhere there should be sequence that why there was a delay, right from the day when the time was there at the time of filing the appeal. Then there is a judgment of the, a very interesting case is there of the Himachal Pradesh Cricket Association, which I will share with you, and the same case is there of the Puneet Fashion. The fact was, in the case of Himachal Pradesh Cricket Association, the Chandigarh bench decision is there, which is ITA number 110 and 111 of 2004. The facts were that assessee had applied for registration under section 12A, which was refused. Assessee sat over it for 2-3 years, but in the meanwhile, he had been filing certain rectification application under section 154 before the CID that you have done this mistake, you have done this mistake, but there was no answer. Then finally, after 3 years, assessee was advised, this is what they had basically stated in the affidavit, they filed all those applications under section 154, they were verified, they were found to be correct, and it was pleaded that assessee was under a bona fide belief that 154 application would be decided in his favor. He was waiting, and then the ITAT had set aside that condonation of delay and remanded the matter to the CIT to decide it fresh. Similarly, in the case of Puneet Fashion, there was many applications were there. Then there was a leading judgment in the case of Manoj Ahuja of the Punjab Haryana High Court, 150 ITR. I don't basically remember the correct page number. I think it is 673 or 733, where they say that no litigant shall suffer on account of the mistake of the counsel. And then these are the various cases which I have shared with you. My dear friends, what I basically feel that the courts have been very liberal with regard to the admission of additional ground of appeal, with regard to the condonation of delay, but those must be bona fide. Those must be correct, and we should take into consideration these aspects. I could not narrate all the case law. Why I had taken the case law? Because I just wanted to highlight or give some kind of a brief that under what circumstances it can be valid issue of a notice, service of the notice, or the additional ground of appeal, or the condonation of delay. With these remarks, I thank all my brothers. It has been a very happy day of my life to meet every one of you. I will now request Nikhil to do the next proceeding. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your insightful views, and especially taking us through all the case laws as well. I think that will greatly help. There were a few requests, sir, in the chat as well. In case you could share those notes in the future, so that will greatly help all our young.
The question which you are telling me. Acha, okay. I'll not read. The first question is of Mr. Rishi Garg. Hello, Rishi. The question is, where an assessee has taken a general ground of appeal that reopening is bad in law, can we elaborate the same in written submissions before the appellate authorities about the improper sanction under section 151, incorrect and irrelevant facts taken while reopening of the assessment being illegal, as the AO, as the AO had made addition of different ground rather than the core issue of reopening the case specifically when it was limited scrutiny. I think this question has been of three parts. My dear, we can definitely take this ground of the sanction of the 151, because when we take a general ground with regard to the 148, we can challenge the reason to believe, we can challenge the wrong sanction, we can challenge the wrong service, everything we can challenge. Your second question is, perhaps you want to say that the reopening may have been made on one issue, but the addition had been made on account of certain other issue. My dear friend, there has been a conflict of the decisions in this regard. The view that the AO, if he had made the addition on the basis of the fact on which the reopening has been made, can he make the other addition? The view is right, that he can make the other additions also. But supposing he has not made the addition on account of the issue on which the reason is a contrary view. The cases which are in the favor of the assessee are perhaps of the Bombay High Court, which I recall of the Jet Airways, 331 ITR, I think the page is 236. Then of the ICI Bank, this is again of the Bombay High Court, 349 ITR, page 482. And in the case of Muhammad Junaid, which is there of 355 ITR 172. But mind it, there are two judgments of our jurisdictional High Court which have been reported in 344 ITR, page 358 in the case of Manjinder Singh Kang, and 377 ITR, page 243 in the case of Govinda Raju. This is of the Karnataka High Court. Now, the only issue perhaps is that explanation 3 to 147, which have been taken into consideration differently by our own this Punjab Haryana High Court and the Jet Airways. In the case of Jet Airways, and there is a recent judgment of the Hyderabad bench of the year 1/1/2020, a very detailed judgment. You must go into that, which judgment is in the case of Mir Faiz Ali Khan. This judgment has taken note of all the judgments. They have said, since under the explanation 3 to section 147, the word "and" is there. There's not much of a time. I would have gone further and further, but you must go through this judgment. So my view is that since there are contrary judgments are there, especially of our own High Court, the matter will rest only when the judgment comes of the Supreme Court. But we can take the benefit of these cases. Now, the second question is there of Shri Pankaj Bhalla. Hello, dear. The question is, if the jurisdiction of the partnership firm is with Ward 1 at the time of filing of a return, but later due to change of the name of the assessee firm also in the PAN database, the jurisdiction changes to Ward number 2. Can issue of a notice by AO Ward 1 be valid? Objections were raised within 30 days itself, but not ignored. You are right. I have already answered by way of the Chandigarh bench judgment. If the PAN database shows your address before the issue of the notice, mind it, before the issue of a notice, of course, then you have a good case to argue, and then whole of the assessment can be set aside. Then, yes, Hitesh Bhaku, yes, young persons are raising various queries. It is very heartening to look into that. whether mere posting or uploading without the actual service by email or in Rule 127 can be considered? Yes. I have already deliberated this vis-a-vis what has been mentioned in the Rule 127, what has been mentioned in 282, and what has been mentioned in the latest notification of 12 September 2019, read with the notification of 3/16 and 4/2017. My dear brother, this is a debatable issue. The issue will not rest here. Yes, there is a scope for challenging that. Then by one series CA Puneet Gupta, notice under section 148 for assessment year 12-13 issued on 31/3/2019 but not served on the assessee, given back to the AO as undelivered. Is the assessee intimated by, question नहीं पढ़ा जा रहा है, जरा साइड में करेंगे. Is the Puneet Gupta, is the assessment proceeding initiated by AO valid if the assessee had joined the proceeding later on in November? Now the notice has come back to the file of the AO. You have to give inspection of the record, get a certified copy of the same, of the notice which has come back. Even if you have participated in the proceeding, don't take into consideration that it will be invalid. I have already quoted the judgments. Then by Shri Sumit from Chandigarh. Yes, young boy, please.
Before you continue further, just an announcement for the audience. You can use the raise hand function by clicking on the participants tab on your screen, so that we can take your questions in the live session once we have addressed all the pre-received questions. So please make sure that you use the raise hand function now, so we can start addressing them once you are recognized. Thank you, sir. You may continue.
And now this Sumit Nagpal from Chandigarh, he has raised a query. A penalty order was served by DCIT, but PAN was lying with the ITO. The physical copy of penalty order was served by DCIT, and on the copy was served through portal by the ITO, which was not digitally signed. The appeal was filed against the order of the ITO, and CIT decided the appeal in favor of the assessee on technical ground. Now DCIT and ITO approached the CIT, which has show cause for a prima facie rectification of the appellate order. Is this valid? Can we file an appeal against the penalty order of physical copy of the order served by DCIT now, as the said appeal is ultimately late? Yes, you can file an appeal, because whether you are right or not, the moment you receive any copy of the order, we must file an appeal that the issue of the condonation of the delay will be taken up separately. But I think the filing of the rectification application by the DCIT, the facts are not very clear from your query, dear. But of course, this rectification application doesn't lie. The only course lies, according to me, from this question, can be with the department, that they should have gone to the higher forum, that is the ITAT. That the fact they have filed an application rectification, I think the CIT cannot change his decision. There is no power of the review. This is what my limited answer is there. Then the query by Sanjeev Kapoor, dear Nikhil, if you are hearing me, there's no query coming out. You can put that query, I'll be able to answer that. It is not there. Then yes. The query by Rakesh Ji is there, whether AO other than in whose jurisdiction PAN is lying, can, no, definitely not. Definitely not. It is totally out of jurisdiction. Then ML Kocher. Nikhil, I am looking into the name, but it is word is seminar only. I am not getting it.
They haven't raised their hand yet.
There is some technical error. And I can take the next question, which is there of the Mohit Dhiman. In the case, the notice issued wing and the said notice incorrect father's name has been mentioned and PAN is missing, and the interest on the village name was mentioned. Thereafter, expertise has been framed. How do you challenge the notice and the assessment? My dear brother, we have to see firstly what is the correct address of the assessee. at which the notice has been sent. The father's name is not correct is also another defect, because this is a jurisdiction notice. PAN missing, I think it should not go against the department. Address, village name is there. How did they get the village name? Will have to be looked into. My only suggestion to all my young friends are there, that whenever they get some kind of appeal of an ex parte order, please look into the record and get the inspection of the file, obtain the inspection of the file, and then file the appeal and challenge the legality of the notice under section 148. You must challenge it on all the grounds, that on the reason to believe, on the service of the notice. Once you have taken about the service of the notice, you can add up anything. And I take up this Rakesh query is there, whether that I have already answered. Nikhil, yes. I don't see any other query.
Now we will be starting the live questions. I will be recognizing the persons and they will speak then. So first up we have our bar president, T.N. Singlaji.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Hanji Sehgal ji, are you listening me?
Yes.
Sehgal sahab, there are certain times AIR information is there with the income tax department.
Yes.
Like deposits in the bank, sale of property, etc., etc. And then the concerned officer who is receiving the AIR information, he is issuing the notices under section 148 and all this. Whereas the jurisdiction and correct address is different. So this is creating a lot of problem.
Yes.
So kindly, this is one. Secondly, sometime we receive notice through e-proceeding also under the e-assessment scheme and from the different ITO, concerned jurisdictional ITO also. So CPC is also sending notices through the e-assessment, whatever the central e-assessment group is there. And the second is the concerned jurisdictional ITO. So how to take up that for the assessment here, for the assessment?
Yes. Now, the first thing is that whenever any notice is basically received, we must take into consideration that who's the AO, whether it is the AO who has the jurisdiction over your case or not. That is the prime thing to be looked into. If he has no basic, jurisdiction to issue the notice, we should not take into consideration that. The second thing about the issuance of the notice of 148, this has been, we have seen in the year 2019, when there was many notices under section 148, which was issued way back in 2017 and 18, all those cases have landed as an ex parte order. Each and every file has to be looked into by looking at the record of the department. Unless Sirius tells me that whenever some kind of appeal lands in my office, the photocopies by way of legal or otherwise, whatever you want to have it, and then further proceed with it. I am sure 99% you will find so much of a material in favor of you, where you will be able to challenge 48, and you are already aware that on the basis of the merely cases of the Chandigarh bench, of the Delhi High Court, and of the Honorable Supreme Court also, that merely on the basis of the information received from the investigation wing that they arrested in the bank account, and therefore I have reason to believe is a Melaf ID. The courts have come very heavily on that. There are many decisions. So therefore, my only suggestion to you is that we must go into the total inspection of the file, and then of course we can deal with it more specifically.
Next we are recognizing Ashok Singlaji. You may kindly speak.
Sir, good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Sir, sir, I'm speaking Ashok Singla from Barnala. Sir, in my case, two orders have been passed with different ITO. One order is passed by the jurisdictional officer, and another is passed by another officer, in which the address is mentioned. Suppose in my case, my assessee's address and the PAN is at Barnala. What his Panipat.
Okay.
First of all, the ITO was passing the order. After 15 days, the order in this session.
Okay. आपके पैन पे कौन सा एड्रेस है अशोक जी? पैन पे बरनाला का एड्रेस है ना? तो आपके केस की 5 सालों की रिटर्न का कहाँ फाइल है? जुरिडिक्शन
हाँ जी सर, बरनाला में।
अशोक जी, बरनाला में ना? तो ये पानीपत का तो ये फिर हो गया ना, जुरिडिक्शन हो गया। दिस इज आपका ये केस जो है 143(2) का है,
148 का।
148 का नोटिस बरनाला में भी सर्व हुआ।
सर पहले बरनाला में सर्व हुआ था, उसके बाद पानीपत में प्रोसीडिंग स्टार्ट कर दी उन्होंने। पानीपत
उसी नोटिस की स्ट्रेंथ पे असेसमेंट कर दी।
हाँ जी सर। सर जब फर्स्ट
नया नोटिस तो नहीं दिया
सर, फर्स्ट असेसमेंट पानीपत वाले ने ड्राफ्ट की, उसके बाद 15 डेज बाद ITO बरनाला नहीं करती।
वो तो ठीक है, मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ 148 का नोटिस 2 थे कि एक? केस में पावर भी हो, जुरिडिक्शन भी हो, बिकॉज नोटिस उसने इशू नहीं किया, उसके पास है, तो ही इज नॉट योर ITO। तो ये तो पानीपत वाले की तो असेसमेंट बैड इन लॉ है। और जो बरनाला वाले ने अगर असेसमेंट चाहे 2 कर दी, क्या उसने टाइम के बीच में की है असेसमेंट?
Within time, sir. They have finalized within time.
Within time, so of course you challenge the both the orders separately, but you have a good case, almost 100% good case of the case जहां पानीपत वाले ने सस्पेंड की है, और बरनाला वाले में आपको तो 148, क्योंकि इसने नोटिस इशू किया था। चाहे एक और अकॉर्डिंग टू माय हम्बल ओपिनियन, आपको तो बरनाला वाले में तो मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी, क्योंकि AO जिसने इशू किया है और जिसने आपकी असेसमेंट की है, वही AO आपका मेन था, जिसमें आपकी सारी वो लाइक करती है जुरिडिक्शन। दैट इज माय हम्बल सबमिशन। यस निखिल।
Hello. You are recognized, please.
Hello, Saigal sir, नमस्कार।
नमस्कार जी।
सर कंबोज बोल रहा हूँ जी।
हाँ जी, वेलकम सर डियर, हाउ आर यू? एनक बड़ी आपने
सर। सर continuing with the question raised by Ashok Singla ji from Barnala.
Please.
Assessee, they will have to file 2 appeals.
Yes.
One separately at Panipat.
Assessee will have to file the 2 appeals for the caution, because the demand has been raised. So there's no harm in filing the 2 appeals. It doesn't take any extra effort, because assessee of course will have to pay the requisite fee. That would be his burden. But I think अगर अपील नहीं करेगा तो क्या करेगा? उसके जो डिस्प्यूट में पड़ने के बजाय आई थिंक इट विल बी फेयर चांस फॉर द एसएससी टू फाइल द अपील वन एट पानीपत, क्योंकि पानीपत वाले ने भी ना वो नोटिस जो 156 के ऊपर लिखा होगा भी कहां पर फाइल करनी है अपील।
हाँ जी
आई थिंक द अपील तो उसको फाइल करनी पड़ेगी।
करेक्ट सर। एंड कमिंग टू माय question sir, it is with regard to the applicability of the and validity of section 151 sanctioned by the PCIT or the JCIT.
Yes.
There are large number of judgments, recent judgments, 1 or 2 against, but mainly by the Supreme Court also, that the general sanction by writing yes or yes I am agreed, and the assessment is framed. Will the CIT appeal be competent to consider the ground of appeal on this issue?
Yes, CIT would be competent, but as you are aware, about a year back, there has been some kind of guidelines for the CATP not to basically struck down the cases under section 148 or the other cases of the share application or the LTC. But we must take up this ground because there are many cases have come. Normally what we see, earlier the cases were where the sanction under section 151 is given by just mentioning yes, I agree. Then their cases, all the courts have held that it is only a mechanical application of mine. Then there are cases where the CAT has gone one line further. He says, I have gone through the record and I agree. There also the courts have struck very heavily that which record you have seen, you must mention. That kind of a satisfaction must be borne out from the record on which you have taken your mind into that. So we must take up this ground seriously. What my, this kind of this experience had been that most of the cases which come to me before the ITAT, most of us miss that ground of 148. I think one should take up that ground of 148 on all counts. Reason to believe, service of the notice or sanction of the notice, even if we are not able to look into the file within the time of the filing appeal, because appeal का ground तो हम कभी भी वापस ले सकते हैं ना. Additional ground लेने में थोड़ी दिक्कत आएगी. दिक्कत तो नहीं आएगी. Courts are very liberal. But I think we must take up the ground of appeal because then the ITAT will say इसको वापस ले जाओ यार, ये तो नीचे इस पे माइंड ही नहीं अप्लाई हुआ. Though some ITAT have held it that they can take a decision if the facts are there on the record. It will be better if we take up the matter before the CAT.
Great. So next we will be recognizing Naresh Kumar Karti.
Hello.
Yes, Naresh.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar, Naresh.
Sir, my point is that the notice of services by email or by the government portal, IT portal, which will be the date of receiving the notice? Will when I open the email or portal, or when it was sent by the department?
That is what I had referred to in my reference to the earlier discussion. That as on the date, the law is that whenever he has given that information on your portal, it is taken as a deemed service. But there is, my view is there that there should be amendment to that because of the country where we are living. Not much people are much educated. Not much people have that lawyers को चाहे भी तो शायद engage नहीं कर पाते. तो मेरा तो suggestion ये है, which I referred in my earlier reference, भाई इसके अंदर जब assessee portal को देखे तब उसको थोड़ा सा वो वाली date चाहिए, which I will just read what I have said in my earlier submission. Mere placing of a authenticated copy of the notice in the assessee's registered account should not be considered conclusive for service of the notice. The provision of the scheme should be modified to provide that service of electronic record would be complete only upon retrieval by the person. Otherwise, it will lead to the
Yes, sir. Just to add from my personal experience on that issue as well, specifically the section requires that the AO is supposed to upload the notice and service a message. So it has to be followed by a text message. So there are certain cases where no text message has been received and clearly on the portal it says email ID. Hi, sir.
Yes, Nikhil, it is okay now.
Yes, sir. So there are certain cases where they have uploaded the notice on the portal, but no text message has been sent and no email ID has been referred to. So I believe we are taking this position in our cases that this is incomplete service because it does not follow the legislative intent.
But my dear, there is one kind of controversy which can come because DIT system or DG system can form later rules or mode and manner of the service of the notice. Under that guideline, perhaps they are issuing the notifications. Now, whether that notification can override the act or the rules is a big, normally the courts have said that unless or until there is a this kind of amendment in the rules of the act, then that should not be there, but it remains to be basically tested.
Definitely, sir. So next we will be recognizing Amarjeet ji. Sir, please continue with your question. Amarjeet Associates, you're recognized, you can speak. If there are any other participants who would like to ask a question, kindly use the raise hand function in the participant section so we can recognize you. I think we have Naresh Gargji again for a question. Sir, please, you're unmuted now. You can continue.
Sir, sir, during this e-processing of the assessment, we encountered a situation where the AOs have blocked the system that the assessee is unable to send their replies at their own will, sweet will. In some cases on 18th of December, in some cases 26th of December. Is it possible for the AO to stop my replies?
In fact, this kind of a issue was there in our own town also, where the AO of the Central Circle, he had put up a board outside his office that all the replies should be sent by 15th 12/2019. After that, he said he will not be taking into consideration any replies because he has to pass the order. He cannot block. That is, of course, is a fact. But my view is that moment he basically blocks, you have to write down by way of the letter or by way of personal meeting to the higher authorities, or by sending all the details by way of the speed post or by email. Because you have to basically say that you have all the details, because otherwise it may land you in some difficulty when you're putting up additional evidence, or when you are saying that you have not been given the proper opportunity. If the AO has a sufficient time left, he cannot block the portal. This is my view. But I think most of the AOs, when the cases were here also, then we went to the this additional DIT Central Circle. He was kind enough to listen to the problem. He asked the AO to open the portal, but we had in the meanwhile sent it by mail or by the speed post. उस समय तो ये हाल करना चाहिए, मैं लगता है जो भी आपके हाथ में अस्तर पत्तर है वो सारे मतलब चला दो, हथगोला भी चला दो, बंदूक भी चला दो, स्टैंड गन भी चला दो, because यही काम करना पड़ेगा आपको. That is what my view is there. Thank you, Naresh ji.
Thank you for that candid view in terms of making all efforts in the appeal. I am now recognizing Rakesh ji. Sir, please continue with your question.
जी नमस्कार सहगल साहब.
नमस्कार जी.
राकेश काजला फ्रॉम पटियाला. सहगल साहब, वही पुराना थोड़ा सा एलैबोरेट कर दो. जो HP सिंह वाला केस है, पैन नंबर भवानीगढ़ इशू में, भवानीगढ़ जुरिसडिक्शन में है, और असेसी रिजाइड कर रहा है पटियाला में, और असेसिंग ऑफिसर पटियाला ने ही असेसमेंट फ्रेम की है उसकी. जरा किसको दोबारा एक्सप्लेन कर दो HP सिंह वाला केस. HP Singh and others.
HP Singh and others of the Chandigarh bench is the ITA number 1163/2018. Order of the Chandigarh bench is there 1/8/2019. where the PAN was lying somewhere else, but the notice was issued by the ACIT Amritsar. And then a attempt was made by the AO that it is covered under section 292B. This was a case of the issue of the notice under section 143(2), which is also one of the jurisdictional notice. And the ITAT has held that therefore the assessment framed under section 143(3) of the Act, without issuing the notice under section 143 of the Act within the time limit, was bad in law, because the AO who had the jurisdiction, he had issued the notice under section 143 too late. The earlier AO who did not have the jurisdiction, he had issued the notice in time. So therefore, in those circumstances, since the notice under section 143(2) was not issued by the jurisdictional AO in time, so therefore the assessment proceedings were quashed.
So next I am recognizing TN Singlaji.
Sehgal Sahab, my question, second question, I think was mixed up with the first question. My question was that the AO is issuing notices under section 143(2) for the regular assessment, and at the same time Central E-Processing Center is also issuing notices under section 143(2) for the same year. What would be the result? Who would be my assessing officer?
Both have been issued within time. Both notices under section
within the time both have issued.
तो 143(2) CPC बेंगलोर को तो बोर्ड ने पावर दी है ना, तो ये जो हमारा जो काम करने का तरीका है उसको जरा थोड़ा स्पीड अप करें. I think CPC,
but AOB jurisdictional AOB काट दे रहा है 143(2).
दो जने कर रहे हैं ना, दोनों
different details मांग रहे हैं.
दोनों different detail कैसे मांग लेंगे?
मांग रहे हैं जी. AOB इशू कर रहा है और सेंट्रल प्रोसेसिंग सेंट्रल जो ई असेसमेंट पोर्टल है वो भी इशू कर रहा है.
फिर वो इस साल में ही आएगा जो
पिछले साल भी आ गए हैं ना, आ गए हैं अभी नोटिस तो आ गए हैं.
वही कह रहा हूँ सर, इस वाले असेसमेंट्स में दिक्कत आएगा क्योंकि
18-19 में भी आ रहा है.
आई थिंक आपको तो ना मेल पे रिप्लाई करना चाहिए सीपीसी को, वंस यू गेट ए नोटिस दैट यू आर इशूइंग द नोटिसेस wrongly. मेरे को वहां से भी ये नोटिस आ गया, आई एम फाइलिंग ऑल द डिटेल्स देयर, तो यू हैव नो बेसिक थिंग टू आस्क मी ऑल द डिटेल्स बिकॉज देयर हैज टू बी वन असेसिंग ऑफिसर एंड दीस काइंड्स ऑफ थिंग आर गोइंग टू कम अप लॉट मोर व्हेन ये जब से ये ई वाली काम शुरू होगा ना इस साल में, ई के असेसमेंट वाला, एक तो कोविड-19 है और ये भी काम शुरू होगा. We have to be very cautious and very prompt in taking up these issues.
So next we are recognizing, just for the audience as well, we have two pending questions and those will be the last two questions. First is by Dugal Gupta Associates. Sir, please, you may start.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sir, my question is that there is a company, it is regarding the assessment cases during the demonetization period. That yes, company was having two PANs. One PAN was not in use, and that PAN which was not in use was accidentally given to the bankers. During the demonetization period, some cash was deposited into that bank account, and they selected that PAN for scrutiny. Now the company was filing the returns on the regular PAN, which was the other PAN. The case which was selected on scrutiny on a different PAN was properly replied to. All the questions which were raised by them, they have been replied to. But as on 31st December, they have not passed any order.
Not passed any order?
Yes, sir. No communication, no order, nothing doing. So what will be the status of this?
No, it is no assessment. You should be the happiest person and give a party to the ITAT bar.
No, but sir, during that assessment proceedings, we have written it to the AO that this is not the correct PAN, and all the balance sheets returns have been filed with the second PAN. That PAN was also informed to them.
आपको ये शायद ना कर दे, आपको ये 148 इशू ना कर दे. You have to be a little cautious, and I don't think the litigation of yours will end. I think there are still chances of some action by the department. You have to be a little careful and manageable. You must manage your affairs so that the everything just उसके अंदर नीचे पिल्लों के नीचे ही रह जाए. This is my only suggestion. But you are the luckiest, perhaps भी आपकी नई assessment.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, lastly, we are recognizing Amarjeet Associates. Amarjeet Associates, sir, you have a question? Sir, I think there is some technical problem at their end. At this point, I would request CA Parikshit Agrawal ji to continue.
Nikhil, may I for just finish it off with 2 minutes?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Please. My dear friends, I am really grateful to you for giving me this kind of a time, and especially to the ITAT bar. Now, my only advice as a senior in your family is that don't feel depressed on account of this time. Economy will bounce back. जैसे बॉल को थ्रो करते हैं, हिट करते हैं बॉल पे, उसी स्पीड से वो वापस आती है. इकोनॉमी ज्यादा होगी, हमारा काम चलेगा. Already you must have seen in the news, most of the multinational companies are eyeing into India, leaving some other country or setting up the new business. But one thing you must take care of it, that ये लॉकडाउन पीरियड में हम अपनी स्किल्स को एनहांस करें, डाउन मत होए, क्योंकि हम सबके पास एक बड़ी जो इनवैल्यूएबल चीज है वो हम नहीं देख रहे. इनवैल्यूएबल चीज लाइफ है. जब भी आप डाउन हो, डिप्रेस हो, आंख बंद करके, मुंह बंद करके, नाक से सांस लें और सांस को फील करें. आपको 1 मिनट में पता चलेगा, यार मेरा तो सांस चल रहा है, ये तो लाइफ है. और लाइफ से ज्यादा कोई आपकी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज नहीं है. और अपने दिमाग को, अपने थिंकिंग को पॉजिटिव रखिए. और सबसे जो इंपॉर्टेंट बात मैंने 1 हफ्ते से शुरू की है, मैंने न्यूज देखनी बंद कर दी, अखबार देखनी बंद कर दी. कोरोना सुन के आपको इतना माइंड जो है ना डाउन होता है ना, डिप्रेस होता है, बंद कर दो. लाइवली चीजें सुनो, गाने सुनो, डांस करो, फैमिली के साथ एंजॉय करो, एंड स्टे सेफ. एंड आई एम to all of you. That is my suggestion. Stay healthy and stay safe. That is my only suggestion. And we are waiting for कब टाइम आए. भाई हम भी कॉफी ITAT में भी हैं. अशोक गोयल के पास तो पैसे बड़े जमा हो गए होंगे. He is our कॉफी का सारे सप्लायर वो हैं. I am looking at my very dear, one of the favorite of our ITAT bar, Harry Ricky. Hello, Harry. Hello. He is our Bollywood boy. I think we must give him a chance to speak something, because ऐसे बंदों की शक्ल देख के ना आपको बड़ी पॉजिटिवनेस आती है. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon. Nice to hear you, brother.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's delightful to see you all today on this webinar. And I, on behalf of the ITAT Bar Association, I'm really thankful and grateful to our stalwart Shri Sudhir Sehgal ji for sharing his thoughts, his knowledge with us today on this webinar. First of all, I want to thank him for sharing that study from the Harvard University, which says that the people who believe in relationships, who maintain their relationships, are more happier. And that will be very useful for all of us in our lives. We should all maintain our relationship. And I think in this time, we all must be doing such exercises of maintaining relationship by calling our near and dear ones in our free time. The people whom we used to only chat with on WhatsApp, only say hello, good morning. Now I think at least I am doing. I think all of us must be doing, calling our cousins, our friends, and we should continue this even after this lockdown. We should maintain this calling and connecting to our near and dear ones, and be more happier. And secondly, I want to thank Shri Sudhir Sehgal ji for sharing his knowledge, throwing the light on the day-to-day issues of this regarding the appellate procedure of issue of notice, the service of notice, the taking of additional ground of appeal and additional evidence, and all these day-to-day which we use in our day-to-day lives. Thank you so very much for sharing the knowledge and the case laws. And with this, I want to thank all the members who participated in this webinar, and I request you all to stay at home, take care, be safe, and like Sudhir Sehgal ji just said, be positive, and just think of the good times we had, and we will be having in future also. And be positive and keep smiling and be happy. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Harry. Thank you so much to the ITAT bar, especially to our Vardi, Mr. Singla ji, VP. I see Tejmohan Singh. Tejmohan Singh तो बड़ा रेस्ट कर रहे हैं आजकल, कोई डेट्स वगैरह तो आपको कोई बॉदर नहीं कर रहा ना. I think you are having more of a free time. Otherwise, all people from all over Punjab, Haryana, they have been ringing you up. I date ले लो, वो ले लो.
I'm also missing that, sir. I'm also missing that.
Thank you so much, Tejmohan ji. It is very nice to meet all the guys. And I think even after the lockdown, as been said by our Bollywood hero, we must follow it up. That even after the lockdown, let us take one day in a month, maybe on Saturday or Sunday, to have this kind of interaction. Because in the IT, in other places, everybody is in a hurry to go. We can choose one topic, and whatever the expenses are there, those coffee expenses have been saved by Mr. Ashok Goyal. Those can be put into the contribution.
We will continue with this. We will continue with this positively.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
To all participants.
Thank you so much.
We just want to make an announcement that the next session will be conducted on 23rd April. That is Thursday. And it will be on Vivad Se Vishwas scheme, and it will be taken up by our very own member of the ITAT bar, Parikshit Agarwal ji. And thank you so much, sir, for this session today. I think a lot of youngsters like me would really benefit from such insights because we learn from other people more, including our own mistakes. And I think this is really helpful. At this point, I would request CA Parikshit Agarwal ji to kindly take over, and I'll be unmuting all the participants so that they can say their thanks to the speaker.